And here, hey folks, how are you? Jeff and I are here at the Omni. We are starting off the MS event, the Ms150, finding a cure for MS. So we're just gonna kind of go through the expo. We hope you guys can be there with us. Well, actually, you're gonna be there with us in a moment. And let's see what we can find, all right?
All right, it's getting cool. Go people! I can't hear you!
Hey folks, Ed and Jeff here again. So, this is the site map, as Jeff is showing you. We'll be riding day one. This cruel 102 miles. That's right. All so that this guy right here is the power machine for 102 miles.
That's it.
And then day two, we've got this express mile through the challenge, 66 miles. That's right, folks, 66. Not for the faint of heart. Not for the faint of heart.
Not at all.
These are all people that are coming here to help raise funds and raise awareness about this wonderful, wonderful ride, which is placing a lot of money to help find a cure for MS. So that my great buddy right here can continue to fight the good fight. Good folks at Sun and Ski who are loading me up on fuel. It's us again.
Well, I've always liked cycling. I always get a little bit of freedom with that, and you can get out in the outdoors, and it was good exercise. But in 2004, I did a project with my son and daughter at school. It was the Post Oak Montessori School, and they had an annual project they wanted to do, and they were going to ride the MS150. It was a good cause, community service, and a great project for everybody to rally around. So I completed that, and it was a great ride, and that was in 2004. I had no idea that I would be riding for something that would affect me personally at that time. And 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with MS.
I started doing the MS150 about 19 years ago, and at that time when I did it, it was purely because of more of a passion for cycling. So it just seemed to be a good thing to challenge myself for, and I got into it purely for the cycling aspect. And within a couple of years of doing this, the cause really stood out at me, even year one. And then year two, it really became much more of a focus for me, and that, less so about the cycling, more about the cause. At that point, I really took it to heart, started to pay more attention to what the society was doing, and it's a tremendous society in terms of what they are able to bring, not only to patients in terms of research, but also to patients and their families in terms of all of the disability that this disorder can bring, helping them out with finding ways to improve their homes. The society does a lot to support the patients with disease, not just the research for the disease. Right. I quickly started to get engaged in fundraising. I was, for many years, at the top 100 fundraisers and involved in the Tour of Champions of the MS Society. And so over the years, I was always, patients of mine who had multiple sclerosis, friends of mine who had multiple sclerosis, and people that I knew, essentially. I was always, kind of supporting them in the ride. Mm-hmm. Well, about 6 years ago, my partner in crime here, Dr. Cannella, who he and I have been practicing together for pretty much 20 years, he was diagnosed with it, and suddenly it really became personal. About 3 years ago, I had bought a tandem bicycle, a two-seat bicycle, that many years ago I started riding the Ms150 with my children. About 3 years ago I went to Jeff. Jeff has been fortunate in that the multiple sclerosis has really only affected his hip. But it's that in particular kept him from being able to ride a bike safely. And so I just came up to Jeff and said, do you want to ride this thing with me on a 2-seat horse? You know, what do you think? You know, and Jeff was like, yeah, that sounds fun. So about 3 years ago, we started training, and you know, so I've got my big green MS fighting machine. And so Jeff and I have tweaked that bike, and I'm telling you, we get on that thing and we are an absolute missile. But Old Army seemed to fit what we were really looking to do. It's not an official Texas A&M team. It's just basically a bunch of Aggies that have gotten together for a great cause. And I think, you know, I was an Aggie, and Jeff wasn't an Aggie, but his wife is an Aggie and his daughter's an Aggie. So he spent a lot more money at that university than he ever.
That's right, gigging.
So you know, and you know, the whole Aggie spirit just seemed to be right in terms of what we were trying to accomplish. So we joined that team, and when we decided to, hey, let's get our doctors involved, the Houston Physicians, that has that same spirit of giving, that same spirit of helping, and realizing that multiple sclerosis, not only is it a devastating disease in terms of what it can do to people, but it tends to attack people at their most productive time in life. And it can destroy their productivity. So it just seemed with the Houston Physicians family that it was just the right thing in the right timing. So we have come together with Old Army, and we're going to create a larger team that is, again, the physicians and an Aggie network, I guess, joining forces to fight MS.
Right. Well, he has been a proponent for the MS and all the support organizations for multiple sclerosis and the research going on with that for several years. I think he was recognized by the legislature for that. Of course, he's one of our partners over at the hospital, at Houston Physicians Hospital, and he knew Dr. Garcia was an avid cyclist, and that we had done the Ms150 before, so it was a good fit for him to get involved. Got some good advice from Dr. Garcia about getting the proper cycle, and had done his own training with a local cycling group, and was all ready and prepped to go with us. So we had a great ride.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening to our videos, and we thank you, Houston Physicians Hospital and Old Army, for making all of this possible for a great cause. Thank you to Dr. Garcia and Dr. Cannella for your dedication to this effort as well, too. So we look forward to seeing you and both of you next year. So again, thank you, everyone, for your help and support.
Thank you.
Great job.
You made it! Hey! Good job. Good job. Hey, folks, here we are, Jeff and I eating our PBJs. Lunchtime. Okay, hold on. Stuck in here. No worries. See y'all later.